Quigley says that every major event in history, from World War I, has been dominated and directed to a large extent by this secret society. The goal of this organization originally was to expand the British Empire's culture and political system and domination over the entire world. Originally. Rhodes felt that the English represented the finest, the highest watermark in culture, was the finest race in the world, the smartest people, the most benevolent people, and they had an obligation, you see, to rule the world so that all of the ignorant people of the world could benefit from this. It was an act of noblesse noblesse. They had this obligation. Somebody had to do it to protect these poor, ignorant people from themselves. It might as well be them, since they had this wonderful culture, this great language, and this great outlook of what the future should be, a world built on the model of collectivism. Now that evolved very quickly after Cecil Rhodes' death to a different view. It was no longer the British Empire that was to be at the center, but there was a world government to be created. The geographical axis shifted from London to New York and became the United Nations, but nevertheless, the original concept that the members of the secret society would rule from behind the scenes. They would not be the major political figures. They would be the ones who selected the major political figures and who funded the major political figures. They would not be the great teachers or the historians who wrote the textbooks. They would be the ones who hired the great teachers and funded the historians who wrote the textbooks. They would always work behind the scenes. That was the model that he set up. The method by which they would do this was very precise. They knew that you could not really control the masses directly, one-on-one. You had to do it through the organizations to which they belonged. They called them the power centers of society. Man has a herd instinct. We belong to groups. We follow leaders. We move in groups. We sometimes even think in groups. And so they recognized a long time ago that all you had to do if you wanted to lead the masses is to capture control of the groups, the leadership of the groups to which people belonged, the political parties, church organizations, labor unions, media outlets, great corporations, all of the groups, the power centers of society. You could control them with a relatively small number of people if they were well organized, dedicated, and funded. And then those people would indirectly control the world. That was the model. The structure that Cecil Rhodes created, and remember this is all described primarily by Professor Quigley, was outwardly modeled after the Jesuit order. That's right. I was surprised to read that. The Jesuit order? Quigley was a great admirer of the structure of the Jesuits, and he decided to model his secret society after that structure. But at the deeper level, it was clear that he borrowed the structure from the Illuminati. And now everyone knows that the Illuminati existed at one time. It was created in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, but shortly thereafter it was exposed in Bavaria. The police raided it, they arrested its members, they discovered its ledgers and its books and its papers, which is why we know so much about them. They're part of the public record now. We know what the Illuminati was trying to do and how they were structured and how they organized and so forth. And so that's part of the record, but we are told that the Illuminati ceased to exist after that date. I think it probably did. But whether it did or not, certainly others, like Cecil Rhodes, picked it up. They picked up the concept. I don't know if there's a historical continuity back to Adam Weishaupt. I don't think it makes an awful lot of difference when we realize that there are people like Cecil Rhodes who read Adam Weishaupt's work and said, hey, this is a good idea. Let's use it. And that's basically what Cecil Rhodes did. He adopted the strategy that Weishaupt created of, he called it rings within rings within rings. That means that the center of the secret society would be run by one individual with perhaps a little brain trust around him of 2 or 3 people. They would be the absolute rulers of this whole structure. Then they would create around them a ring, as they called it, a larger organization, which they would dominate. They would control it absolutely from the center. But the other members who were recruited into this larger organization would not be allowed to know that there was an inner control and direction. They were brought in for a lesser view of the whole purpose. And that was the outer ring, and that might be 20, 30, 50 people, maybe 100 people. And then outside of that, there would be a larger ring, another organization created with hundreds of people, perhaps thousands of people. And they would not be allowed to know, or would they even suspect, that there was an inner ring controlling the larger outer ring. And this is what Weishaupt called rings within rings within rings. Cecil Rhodes thought that was a dandy idea, and so he adopted it as the structure for his secret society. Now, in his group, the inner circle, they called the Society of the Elect. That was the name Rhodes put to it. It originally consisted of Cecil Rhodes and a brain trust from British banking and politics. A very small number of highly placed, very wealthy people. The center of gravity, as I mentioned a moment ago, shifted eventually to the Rockefeller Group in the United States, with centers of influence in such other organizations as the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, and that sort of thing. We've all heard about these. And the goal shifted away from the control from the British Empire to an international control through something called the New World Order, is the phrase they adopted, with control primarily focused in New York, with the United Nations meant to be the hub of this global government. And I should say global government, not just any global government, but one based on the model of collectivism, which means total control over every human being. Not much room left there for personal freedom. Now, the secondary rings around the Society of the Elect were called roundtables. And they were formed in the United States, in Britain, and all of the former British dependencies. And they still exist today. They operate under that name. Around the roundtables, a larger ring, a tertiary ring, was formed, and they called them front groups in a generic sense, in each country where there were roundtables. And they took on the name, in the dependencies of the former dependencies of the British Empire, they took on the name of Royal Institute for International Affairs. That's where you'll find them today, under that name, in all of the countries, Great Britain, Canada, Australia, and so forth. The Royal Institute of International Affairs. But in the United States, the word royal didn't go over too well, and so they changed it completely, and they called it the Council on Foreign Relations. But it has exactly the same relationship to the roundtables, which is surrounding the Society of the Elect, which is the secret society that still functions today, was created by Cecil Rhodes. And ladies and gentlemen, after 100 years of operation and of penetration into the power centers of society, the Rhodesian network, as I call it, now is close to its final achievement, which is its goal, the creation of a true New World Order. Now, I call it the Rhodesian network because one of the things we have to realize is that itself, it has no name. Isn't that brilliant? Quigley, when he writes about it, doesn't.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Everybody. Wonder Boy. All right. I'm back on here. Okay, you want to come on real quick? So, you didn't hear this, okay, but what this is really about, honestly, it's about what by the way, Stosh Peterson, sucks to hear that, man. I hope things get better. I hope it's nothing too bad, and that you'll be out soon or from whatever. Yeah, my mom and prayers go out to you, brother. Take care. Man, God, that stuff. And I've been there. Trust me. So basically, I played that because this was 2012. It's the Quigley formula. It's basically and my title indicates, we are in the Barnum and Bailey Circus. The Ringling brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. And if you look at the pictures in the beginning, when you first came on, it shows the circus and all the elephants and donkeys and the performers and all the fans, and everybody's mesmerized, and and all these emotions are going through their heads. But how I correlate that with these individuals, which is the Council on Foreign Relations, right? Let me just show you real quick. And they are joined at the hip with the World Economic Forum. I need to let you guys know that. They're joined at the hip with the World Economic Forum. They're gigantic, and they are extremely gigantic. Here's the other part of this, which people probably don't know, is that more recently, okay, look at that, more recently, if you'll see right here, on January 19th, 100 participants from 31 states. This is January 2019. January 2019. 100 participants from 31 states, Washington, D.C., and Canada, representing 77 unique, quote-unquote, unique outlets, including print, online publication, TV, and radio, met at the Council on Foreign Relations. Inaugural, right? This is the inaugural. They've just launched this program with the help of the World Economic Forum and some larger powers out there. It's called the Local Journalists Workshop, which is interesting because it's a gigantic group, right? Rings within rings within rings, right? Basically, and I put the rest of this, a workshop to form your thoughts, your opinions, and socially engineer all of you, or, my fellow slaves out there, for the next few years to come, right? And the Council on Foreign Relations used to be that royal name that he said. I forgot the heck what that name. What was the name I gave you? The royal something something. Yeah, but this process has been in process for decades and decades and decades. These people have kind of withered and gotten stronger and moved, but this new process, it's called the Great Reset, because it used to be the New World Order, but nobody liked the name. So that used to be on the World Economic Forum website. And they changed it to the Great Reset, right? Because it sounds a little more positive. But it's the corporate governance that's on the website. If you go, I think it's on like the first page. And when they talk about the Great Reset, and they talk about a better way of capitalism, quote unquote, in that website, a better way of capitalism, right? It's just, and it's eerie as fuck. So the point I'm trying to make is, we're talking CNN, Fox, we're talking all the major print, online publications, TV and radio, all met, right? They all hung out for this journalist workshop. And let me just click it right here. I think it was the 17th, I think, the 24th of January. It was at 7 a.m., 2019. And it has all these people speaking. and they're talking about disinformation and how to. I mean, if you go through it, you can definitely see that there's some nefarious processes going in, planning, and some things that if you watch a lot of these videos, you'll realize that not one of them, by the way, mentions Julian Assange. None. And nobody wants to free him. These are the people that are, and we're talking NPR, the Associated Press. I mean, all of them are here. All of them are here. New York Post, New York Times, LA Times, just all over. And these people are the ones that are putting out the Atlantic. If you go on Facebook, if you go on Twitter, you're going to see these people. The PBS, definitely the PBS, right? I even think I also think I think Democracy Now! Is there, and a few others, right? But I'm going to say this is, and I've said this before, and it's and I know Stevie understands this, like everybody. Oh, I got to make that smaller. Hold on. The journalist workshop. Sorry, local journalist workshop. And you can, if you scroll down, you'll see all these economic trade, immigration, workforce development. They hide behind these names to basically create a social engineering direction upon all of us. This should not be the case. They should never meet together. It is not right for journalists to hang out and plan these things. I just don't think that's right. They should be totally independent from each other. They should even fight and bicker and argue between each other, but that can't happen anymore because cancel culture, because the fascism that's happening now, it's just fucking everywhere. But these people are all one tsunami. They are all one gigantic ring that is controlled by a little ring that is controlled by a smaller ring. And they are given direction. They are given scripts. You've seen the scripts. They all say the same thing all over the country, almost simultaneously, on the same day or the same few days. It happens all the time. And there's plenty of videos to show that. I don't have it up right now, but you just look it up. It's pretty simple. So this is a major reason. This is a major reason why you're being manipulated. Why your thoughts, your emotions, the reason why you're upset that 500,000 people are supposedly dying from COVID when the numbers don't add up. And I've proven that over and over again, and so many others have. So many others have done that. And more people are coming out and saying, this bullshit, there's no way. And people are actually coming out and saying, that, by the way, that jab is not a vax. It's not a vax. It's a pathogen. It's in a sense a gene therapy tool that they're saying is supposed to make you more immune, stronger. But there's no evidence of that. And now they're somewhat admitting, and you can see if you go to Ryan Christensen, Derek Bros, a few other people, Whitney Webb, I think, is even talking about it, and a few others, doctors, scientists, and virologists out there that are saying this is not what they're claiming it to be. They're calling it a vaccine. It's not. It is just not. And there's a video that's out that's clearly indicating, and several others, clearly indicating what's going on with this thing out there. The bottom line is this. I've got people that I'm not arguing with. They'll say, so, Jimmy, you look so silly. You look so stupid. It's so lame. You're so ridiculous. You're a fucking idiot talking about this and doing all this other stuff. And I said, well, you show me your proof, and I'll show you my proof. I'll show you my documentation of studies and peer reviews and all this information clearly indicating my perspective and the research and the investigations that I've done. And why don't you bring what you bring? So what the first thing they bring is they bring something from the CDC. And then I bring something from the CDC. Well, you can't because it's killing people. No. Let me show you what the CDC said. This is what they clearly said. And I do this constantly, and it's painstaking, but I'm going to do it because I'm trying to save their lives. I don't want them to have their daughter get the jab, the vax. Like I got a picture on my Facebook of this mom in the background watching her daughter get a 12 years old get a vaccine. And at the same time, I'm saying, what are you doing? You have no idea what this is going to do to her body, or if it will. But there's a lot of people that are saying, and I have lots of proof to say it. It's not what they say it is. Why would you take that risk? This is not the killer. It's not the killer. We've already proven that it's not 10 times more fatal than the seasonal flu, according to Fauci's lie back in March of 2020. That was totally debunked. That was a complete and total lie. If it was 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu, we would have had at least 2.5 million people dead. Easily. But that didn't happen. But they put out that scare in the beginning. Who are they? I just told you who they are. These are people that are trained and worked and get paid for by the parasitic predator class. Stevie just calls them the parasitic class, which is fine. But I think you guys understand what my point is. My point is, it's all, George Carlin said it's a big group and you ain't in it. Sadly, the Democrats already fucking stole his words, and I don't want to get into that.
Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. So I know it might seem like a lot at first, which, most of the people that are watching now are pretty much, on the same page as we are. But like to talk to somebody that's only been watching like CNN or something like that, it's just a lot for them to take in. So I always start with like, just basically, look, has your government lied to you? Have they always looked out for your safety and your health? Are they controlled by, their donors? Are they controlled by money? Right? So we have to admit those things first. And from there, we can move on to, of course, there's nothing that they wouldn't do to us. They're telling us it's a pandemic, and yet they won't give us health insurance. So of course they don't care about our safety. Of course they don't care about our health. It always comes down to money. Now that the Democrats have complete control of everything, what have they done? Nothing. They participated in a circus, and now they're taking a vacation from doing no work. I worked jobs and worked harder than them and got no vacation time. And yet these people are out enjoying their vacation after having done nothing. And meanwhile, people are freezing to death. They're being kicked out of their homes, no health care, and they're just relaxing because they've been working.
They went on recess, right? Yeah, there are a lot of things that are happening now that are the 99%, or those that can barely survive, basically, that are getting the very, very terrible end of the stick, and it's just getting worse. These fuckers, while people freeze to death, you know what? Let's go to Cancun, right? Let's go to let's take a recess and take a break and screw these people. And like I say, what have they fucking done? Our infrastructure has depleted. On an average of $780 billion per year. $780 billion for the past 10, 20 years has been given to the military-industrial complex. Well, it's just insanity. And these people, while bridges are breaking and roads are dropping and power stations, and they don't have the right technology, and everything is getting old, it's breaking down. It's just fucking getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and they're not doing anything about it. And when I say they, I'm not just talking about the Democrats. I'm not just talking about the Republicans, right? I'm talking about both of them together. They could give a fuck. They could give a, and the people that control them don't give a shit. And it's, and look, we all know. I mean, if you're watching this and you've been watching me for a long time or just a short period of time, and you're like, hey, that makes sense, then you'll fully realize that it's all a big facade. It's a big circus, right? But they have these rings that are moving around, guys. The Ringling brothers, Barnum and Bailey Shores. The one little ring controls another bigger ring that controls bigger rings. It's like multi-level marketing on fucking steroids because everybody's getting a piece of it. It's a pyramid scheme. If you could describe the United States political, electoral, and voting system, it's a pyramid scheme.
It is, for sure. Yeah, and I would suggest looking up tricks that magicians use, because since it's all about illusion, I mean, I'm serious. Since it's all about illusions, right? You know, distractions. Look over here. Well, you know, look at my right hand. Well, the left hand's, you know, stabbing you in the back. These are the tactics that they use. Bring out the assistant. Look at the assistant while I go over here and do something behind the scenes. Right. So they work together and they have all these different tricks in order to perform these illusions of, bipartisan. We can't get anything done because the other side, illusions that are like, you know, this whole thing with Trump, the second impeachment. It's all these illusions. The illusion that we have democracy, that our votes means something, right? The illusion that we can just vote these people out of office. So it's all about the illusion, and they have to maintain that. So, I mean, I went down a rabbit hole with that the other night. But yeah, it's really fascinating, and it's definitely worth checking out. So, have to maintain that. So, I mean, want to waste some time with that? Well, I wouldn't consider it a waste of time, but, you know.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not a waste of time. All right, so if we're going to do something, let me turn on my camera here. I had to type something at the same time. I've been saying this since it started, and I'm hoping other people are kind of catching on to this. There's a 500-pound gorilla in the room, okay? A 500-pound gorilla. Oh, look, hey, Alistair Mirage, so much illusion, yet Assange is real. Oh, absolutely. And I brought that up. I continue to bring that up. What are we going to lose when this man dies? Who has the keys to that castle? Well, it's not a castle. Or who has access to that megaphone, to that bullhorn? Who's going to hold that no matter what and hold on to it? Who is going to? Yeah, you're totally right. They'll stop at no cost, for sure. It's the illusion and the pictures that they paint for you are there for a reason. They want you to believe that they're totally in control and everything's fine and life is good and things are working out and they've got it under control, but it's fucking obvious as hell that they don't. They surely don't. I mean, you've got people dying and freezing. You still got food lines happening. This, like I said, the 500-pound scamdemic gorilla in the room. Nobody's really even talking about it. We'll touch it because either they're scared, they're going to get deplatformed. Somebody I know passed away that had COVID. How do you know what their underlying conditions were? Yeah, I know they had heart problems and this and this and that, but it didn't help. Well, that happens with the regular flu all the time. But then they say, well, 500,000 people have died. But no. 500,000 people haven't died from this thing. Okay? And I have information to prove that. I totally have information to prove that. And here's an article right here I'm going to go to and show you real quick. Right? Oh, God. And most of the stuff, somebody said this the other day, was really great. When you're on Facebook or you're on Twitter or you're on Instagram, whatever, on YouTube, and some, one of the hundreds or the 77 outlets of the Council on Foreign Affairs local journalists forum happened or whatever. All those are clickbait. They're totally and absolute clickbait. When you go to any of their sites, there's a membership. You got to sign in. You got to do all this other stuff, right? People like you to see what they have. That's fine, right? But this is WND, which has a total different perspective, and they're not asking you to join. They're not asking you for your money, constantly. Like these fucking journalists need more money, right? Like they actually need more money. But it clearly states right here, and there's a lot of information to prove this. Study finds CDC inflated COVID numbers by 1,600%. 1,600%. And I don't know why this is playing. There's all kinds of stuff. A peer-reviewed study contends the Center for Disease Control and Prevention violated federal law by inflating coronavirus fatality numbers. The figures were inflated by 1,600% according to public health initiatives. Because they were coding everything. They were coding everything as a death. Somebody would get into a car accident. Oh, they pop positive of a frivolous PCR test. Right? Boom. Done. It's a COVID death. Somebody jumped off a fucking bridge. Oh, they got them out, swabbed them, frivolous and ridiculous PCR test. Oh, they pop positive. If you have a parasite, an infection, or a virus that is causing your body to react in an immune type way, a defensive way, it will probably pop positive. Plus the cycle, look, you should know all this stuff already. You should know all this stuff already. If you're just believing the numbers that are coming out from these people, these groups, these circles, these rings, the Barnum and Bailey circus that's fucking happening in front of you, then you're being manipulated. You're being socially engineered. Absolutely and totally socially fucking engineered. Without a doubt. So, here's the Institute of Pure and Applied Knowledge, Public Health Initiative of the Institute of Pure and Applied Knowledge, which published a study titled COVID Data Collection, Comorbidity, and Federal Law, a Historical Retrospective. Okay, and they published this. Right? And nobody's really fighting this at all. Neither are they fighting Ronald C. Brown's paper that clearly indicates that Fauci, and this is, listen, I got this information, this guy that I first played, EJ or whatever his name is, that was on the beginning of this, from James Corbett. That guy has been deep watching what's going on. His investigative journalism is bar none, very impressive. And then if you go here, I'll just show my list of things here. I'll just show you the list that I have, and this is all right. It's right. It's just there for us to use, and I have. I'll post all this, as a matter of fact, in this show, so you'll have all the links. But if you see right here, right here, and I'll show you this. This is an accurate and clear factual study by Ronald B. Brown. Basically, a study never challenged or disputed to be wrong by mainstream media or anybody else, that proved that Fauci and his claim regarding COVID, that's what and his claim is supposed to be that. Let me fix that real quick. COVID is 10 times more fatal than the seasonal flu. That's his words. That's what he said. Those are his words. As a matter of fact, I think I could play that real quick. No, I don't have it on this one. Did I get a picture of it, though? I think I had a picture of it. No. Yeah, right here. Oh, right here. Hold on. Come on.
Coronavirus in 2002, standing of the American mortality overall of this, when you look at all the China, is about 3%. It first started off as 2 and now 3. I think if you count all the cases of minimally symptomatic or asymptomatic infection, that probably brings the mortality rate down to somewhere around 1%, which means it is 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu.
So back to this, and let me show you. So what I'm getting to is the predator class, or the parasitic class, or the parasitic predator class. I just call them the parasitic classes right now. I'm just going to go with what Stevie calls them. I think it's a good idea. Basically uses corporate governance, their influence, their donations, etc., to pay and control mainstream media. This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. They pay for their bills. They pay for their paychecks, their advertising. They cut those checks. You don't. You don't pay a red cent. What does it say? Please keep this as a record for the mass astronomical atrocity they have perpetually upon normal people they worry about would rise up. There are no jobs left. Okay, that's true. Okay. It's very simple. Why would they put anything at all to the masses that would do anything for you? Right? Why in the fuck would they put anything? Right? They should be screaming right now. All these publications, all these cable and TV supposed news outlets, left and right, should be saying, people are freezing to death. Nobody's got health care. There's a fucking pandemic. Right? And nothing. And it should be everywhere. That should be everywhere. And Congress is gone. Congress just, they're on recess. Fuck you guys. Goodbye. They work like, what, 128 days or something like that a year? That's it? What a fucking cush job. Right? I have to do my 40 fucking plus hours a week. And I do this. Because like I said, my goal is to save the planet and all of its inhabitants. That's been my goal from day one. For you, for your kids, for everybody else. I want everybody to have a chance to play and frolic and the things that I used to do when I was a kid. But most of those places are, have caution tape in front of them or signs that say you can't go in here because it's polluted or it's dangerous or it's radioactive. That's happening now. And these people don't give a fuck about that or any of this. They don't give a shit about any of this. I keep freezing up. I wonder why that is. But anyway, so this is a clear indicator, guys. This is a clear indicator of basically what we're going through. And you just saw it. The rings within rings within rings. It's the Ringling brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. You're all getting a piece of it. And you're all being played. You're all like a fucking kazoo. Right? I'm not saying the people that are on here. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying people that aren't really paying attention. And what bothers me is you have, what fucking drives me crazy, you've got Graham Elwood, who, I love this kid. He's fucking, I was supposed to do a show with him a while back, but, I just never got a chance of doing it. But I've had Ron on here too, Ron Pacone, but one day he has Whitney Webb, who's clearly stating pretty much everything I'm stating, and then some. That there's this giant society of elitists that are controlling fucking everything. right? And that the pandemic is not a pandemic; it's an actual scam-demic, right? And that and all the information she's putting out in regards to the jab or the vax and all this other stuff, it's not what people think it is. Left and right, left and right, left and right. But the next, like a week or so later, he brings on this doctor that pushes, this cute black doctor that pushes the vaccine. I can't wait for everybody to get it, blah, 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 da, 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 right?
Yeah. And that was back when all that censorship came down on him and Combo Couch. So, I mean, but dude, like, push that interview back. If you weren't prepped for it, like, there was just no pushback questions. And like, he had Whitney on, so he knew some of the questions to ask. He should have known, but he just didn't. It was just a bad interview. I mean, otherwise, he does do a lot of great stuff. I know that he's working with Susie when it comes to Panquake and all this other, activism. And, he's always done the right thing. But on this one, man, he just dropped the ball.
Yeah, he missed that tackle. And I played linebacker and he played linebacker, and he got juped on that one hard. It was pretty bad. But I think hopefully he'll start to study and actually find out what Whitney and Ryan and Derek Bros and Anomaly and Spiro and Dr. Shiva and so many people are trying to bring out, right? And Convo Couch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's Nico House for sure. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing the right things. But just more recently, I don't like the bag on the fucking Jimmy Dore family. But they're not touching it. They're not even getting close. The other day, which I found that was super alarming, is Max Blumenthal, who's kind of starting to get it, and is just starting to put the pieces together, knows what Event 201 is. Right? The big proposal. The Atlantic storm. That was a fucking proposal. If you know anything about sales of proposals, like I do, those are fucking proposals, right? Clad X, a proposal, right? And what was the other one? And a few others that have been out there for a long time for the fucking big pharma group that wants to get a piece of that fucking 680 on average $1 billion a fucking year. And then just a second, let me just finish, please. And the thing is this one got bought. This proposal said, hey, let's do this. We can do this, man. We can fucking make this money. We're the ring within rings within rings, and we can get, 77 unique news outlets out there to start pushing the shit. AP, NPR, Atlantic Post, New York Times, Washington Post, Huffington Post, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, you name it, Al Jazeera, PBS. Get them all pushing this stuff in this direction. And they did, and they're still doing it to this day. And they're fucking just destroying it. I've got guys that used to have serious men and women that used to have amazing critical thinking skills. Some of them in the Green Party. Green Party people, look, if you're a critical thinker, you're definitely in the Green Party in most cases. In most cases, I'm not saying completely because not everybody's perfect, but compared to the Democrats and Republicans, I would say critical thinking is pretty big within the Green Party, and they're being sold. They're being sold, right? It seems like lately the critical thinkers are the Republicans. That's not saying a whole lot. No. That's not really saying a whole lot. But the thing is Jimmy's not touching this. He had no idea what fucking Event 201 was. Max Blumenthal. He brought up Event 201, and Jimmy said, oh, what's that? How do you fucking not know what Event 201 is at this moment? Within at least the past 6 to 8 months, everybody's been fucking talking about it. You're just so... I think Jimmy had Whitney Webb on. I think he had her on like before all this started, a while back. And I'm surprised he isn't following what she's saying. The sad thing about Jimmy is he says these two words: clarity and courage. Clarity and courage. Well, if you don't know what Event 201 is, which is happening right in front of you, with the 500-pound scamdemic gorilla in the room, then that's not much clarity. And the thing is, you won't even touch it, which isn't much courage. You know, I'm watching people just become total testicles, and I wish they'd grow a fucking pussy and get tough. Seriously. And I know people's not good with that analogy, but I've always said this, and maybe this could offend you, and Stevie's always going, no, don't do it. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to fucking do it. Right? You could flick a man in the balls that'll bring him to his knees. You could flick a girl in the pussy, and I'm just telling you, you might get a second date. That's all I'm saying. But the fact of the matter is stop being weak. Go outside of the little enclosed comfort zone that you put yourself in. You know, Mike McRae, who the fuck? Nobody gives a fuck about what Mike McRae says. All the stuff that you're doing, Jimmy, right now, you've done in 2014, 15, 16. It's all a broken record. The thing you're not going out is the rings. You're not going after the rings within the rings within the rings. You're not. I am. Ryan Christensen is. Derek Bros is. Nico touches upon it. Convo Couch is all over it. Right? Roar Media's fucking all over it. Stevie's definitely all over it. Right? There are a lot of outlets out there. Luke with We Are Changes, dude. Jason Burmis is fucking definitely all over it, doing a great job. Right? Luke Ladowski, I think his name is, for We Are Change. Great information. Thank you for coming. Fantastic and wonderful people. It's like, it's just like, oh, okay, buddy. But his information is there, and he's just giving people information that they probably have. We're giving information that mainstream media won't give. You're giving information that they've been giving forever. Everybody knows Nancy Pelosi's a piece of shit. Everybody knows AOC is a piece of shit. Everybody knows that. Tell me something fucking different. No. I'm not talking.
Everybody doesn't know.
No.
I got called a lot of names because I called AOC out on her bullshit. Just saying. There's still some like diehards out there that for some reason just want to bury their heads in the sand and just believe that these people are fucking heroes when they're not. They have done nothing. They have proven nothing to us. And it's a fucking cult. Anyway. No, that's all I want to say is just like, but they are the, I would say that they are the like radical minority. I think the majority of people are aware of what's going on and how bad it is because, I mean, you see the amount of people that don't go to vote. You see the amount of people that, they're independents. They don't vote because they know, how bad the system is. They've checked out. Now they've checked out of the old system, but they're not like really doing anything like as far as like building something because, we've been conditioned to feel powerless, to do anything. So, I mean, those people, I mean, they do exist. The people that are like, yes, Queen, AOC, squad for life, they exist, but I'm not going to let them take up all the attention because there's a lot of good people out there that are, just aware of the situation. But as far as like Jimmy Dore and all them go, what sucks is the fact that you've got, Ryan Christensen, you've got Convo Couch, all these people that just got demonetized. I mean, they're even going after, Last American Vagabonds Patreon right now. And what sucks is that they're going to pave the road so that way Jimmy Dore can come on a year from now and say, oh, guys, this COVID-19 was a scam. They were using all this to just use it to get money from us, take away our rights. A year from now, he'll be reporting on it. So, I mean, he's not a bad guy, but at the same time, he's hurting people by not, I mean, if you call yourself a journalist, if you say that you report the news, then you have to be talking about this stuff.
Or at least listen.
Or at least no. I mean, like, you are claiming to go out there and tell people about what's going on, and he has not mentioned this, as if it doesn't exist, as if this narrative isn't out there. Like, at least Graham addressed it, right? He had Whitney on several times. Where's Jimmy on this? I mean, it's going unaddressed. It's negligent. It's negligent. I mean, what's going to happen? People are getting vaccinated when we don't know how it's going to affect them. And plus all the stuff from Davos and the World Economic Forum, we know that they are using this to line their pockets and take away our rights. So, I mean, go ahead and ignore it, Jimmy. And by the time that you wise up to it, it's going to be too late for you to talk about it, because, you had your chance now. Because if you don't say something about it now, it's going to be too late later on. It pisses me off, man. I mean, these are people I respect. And I used to watch religiously. And look, and don't get me wrong, I still watch Jimmy Dore. I mean, he's got some good stuff. But like Jimmy was saying, it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff over and over again. How many times can you say Nancy Pelosi sucks? Yeah, dude, we know. Nobody likes Pelosi. I doubt that Pelosi even likes Pelosi at this point. Like, she's a piece of shit, man. I mean, what else do you want to say about her? It's not breaking news or anything like that. So I don't know.
You know, what are you talking about? You know what drives me crazy is when you say you don't know, you know. What you're saying is you definitely are making the case. Right? You're definitely making the case. And the case is, Jimmy Dore, pull your fucking pants up, tighten your belt, right? And get on it.
I mean, maybe he just needs to hear that, because, I mean, like I said, I don't think he's the bad guy. I think he wants to try to do right. But at the same time, he's totally ignoring this. So, like, hey, Jimmy, get your head out of your ass and report on this shit. Look into it for yourself. Do what's right, because you can fight for Medicare for all until you're, blue in the face. But it's not going to happen when you have, Klaus Schwab taking over the world like some kind of Bond villain. I mean, there are
millions.
And we could get, by addressing this, by addressing how all these people work together to keep us oppressed and to keep us away from the things that we need, we can get the Medicare for all. Saying that you're not going to vote for somebody if they don't give you Medicare for all, well, good luck with that when the elections are rigged. Check out the Time article. Check out Dr. Shiva. Look, I can't say anything about the dude personally, but when it comes to his work with election integrity, he is spot on. He's got his faults, but when it comes to election integrity, you got to listen to the guy, because he has definitely done his homework, and he can lay it out for you. Or look at Congo Couch. Pasta has done amazing work on this. So there's a lot of information.
He and Johnny are just tearing it up on this.
Yeah. Me too. But I know that Pasta's been doing it for a while. So I'm just saying, it's just, Jimmy, join us. Come on over to our side.
It's not.
Talk about this stuff.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Dore. If you know Jimmy Dore, you hear Jimmy Dore. If you know Graham, you know any of these people, and they're still talking about Bernie being shit and not doing anything, which he doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just the big cattle herder, heading everybody to the slaughter and more donations for the Democratic Party and everybody into this. It's fucking old news. He's been doing it since 2016. The point that we're trying to make is there are things. I think my theory is correct. I think Ruby, I think her name is, and some people that surround Jimmy, because Jimmy doesn't read those super chats. He takes off and goes have a smoke or smokes a joint or goes to the bathroom. Who the fucking knows what he does? But the only person reading that shit that's getting it and censors some of it, which makes sense, is Stephanie. Yeah, which, look, if somebody sends me a super chat, which I hope I never get because I don't want to be monetized. I don't. That's not why I'm here. I can give a fuck. I'm not trying to sell T-shirts, which I get, and I hope people can make money, because there are people that are completely dependent on their income from their YouTubes, etc. Yeah, and I get that. That's okay. But I just want people to understand, especially those that have bigger voices than me, way bigger voices than I do, to at least contemplate looking at all the variables involved. Look at all the different aspects of where this is really going. What exactly why exactly are people saying that it's the vaccine is not an actual vaccine, and that it's a pathogen, and these lipids that surround the actual package that's injected to you have to be hidden in order to attach to your DNA, and all these little details that are very vital and important, because we don't know exactly what this fucking thing is going to do. And even Pfizer's chairman doesn't know if it's will stop the transmission of a fucking flu. I mean, how is that not fucking surprising? My major point is, Jimmy Dore, Graham, and other people out there that aren't even bringing up COVID at all, and the scam that's involved with it. So you're seeing, and this was just on RT, our tax dollars are helping to fund and pay for these vaccination companies that are then selling it back to us, right? Making 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times more when they got the money for free in the first place, right? And all these people, guess what they do with their money? The ring, man, the circle. It's a fucking circle. It's the ring. It's the ring within rings within rings, and they don't. These are the people that put their campaign finance money to Joe Biden. They put their campaign finance money to the next Donald Trump. That's where they know this money is going to. That's why they don't do anything about it. These are very simple dots to connect. Very simple dots, and I'm throwing it right up here. The Council on Foreign, whatever the fuck it's called, Foreign Relations, has been a society of the circle within the circle that's directly connected to the hip of the World Economic Forum, which, by the way, Graham, by the way, Jimmy, by the way, Stephanie, and everybody else that doesn't fuck Humanist Report, God, that guy's such a piece of shit now. He's garbage. Fuck you, Kyle Kalinske. Right? Right? You guys are just going with this. When people start becoming sterile, when people start getting tumors or things start happening, and you start to see that there's actually a death toll regarding this pathogen, it's not a vaccine, and things start getting bad, you're going to wish you fucking talked about this, and you're going to look like shit. You're going to look like shit because you never brought it up. You're going to probably try to play catch up. Oh, by the way, yeah, I was talking to Whitney Webb, and I had her on this and that. No. You didn't stop this from happening. I am trying to stop this from happening. I am trying to save lives. I am fucking trying to save lives.
If he would add his voice, which when everybody was getting the crackdown, when it comes to the censorship, getting booted off of YouTube, getting demonetized, Franco Analysis was another one. Where was Jimmy? I know he had fucking status coup Jordan Charlatan on, right? But if he would talk about that's one thing, to have somebody come out and talk about the censorship. Have somebody come on and talk about why they got censored.
Yeah, the person that actually got censored.
Talk about the topic that got them censored. Because they're not going to come after Jimmy Dore at this point, because he makes bank for YouTube. He does make them a lot of money, and he has a proven track record of being able to organize.
That's a great point.
The fact that it's not just the fact that they make money, because God knows, it's not about the money at this point, or else they wouldn't have censored any of them. Why would they stop their own cash flow? The thing is that he is able to pull a lot of people together and organize. And the thing is if they tried to censor him, he would organize against YouTube. He would organize against censorship. But the thing is he's not willing to talk about that stuff. And so the people like Combo Couch and Franco and Graham, all these people that are actually trying to report what's going on, they're getting silenced. You know, Last American Vagabond getting silenced, and they're even coming after his Patreon. Like, it's not enough to take away his platform. It's not enough to demonetize him on YouTube. They have to come after his Patreon. It's so petty. It's so petty, and it just goes to show that they are terrified of us. They are so scared. Why else would they spend so much time and energy in silencing us and keeping us oppressed and keeping us busy? Is because they are terrified of what we are capable of. They are terrified of the fact that if we just realized that they're full of shit and we could change things for ourselves and we don't need to elect an AOC or a Bernie Sanders to get things done, that we could actually achieve it for our own selves. And they're terrified of that. So they got to keep us locked into this. They got to boot us off of YouTube. They got to silence us. So, you know, I take it as we're on the right path and just keep going that way, because, I mean, I know a lot of people are getting, you know, disheartened right now, for sure. And it can beat you down. But, you know, I know Fee was feeling it the other day. But the thing is like, that's why they're coming at us so hard. Why else? If we weren't a threat to them, if we weren't a threat to their power, they wouldn't even waste time with us, right? So we're doing good. We're getting closer. We're almost there.
An old saying, and I've even put this in the chat that Jimmy never read, because he doesn't read his chats, his super chats that people send him thousands of dollars a day to, was, if you're not catching flack, then you're not close to the target. It's an old Air Force saying. If you're not catching flack, and flack is surface-to-air missiles or gunfire, etc., then you're not getting close to the target. Jimmy, you're not touching. Nobody's coming after you, bro. You're not going to get censored. You're talking about the distraction they want you to talk about. You're only helping the process. You're making it against this person, against that person, and drama. Again, the 500-pound COVID scam gorilla in the fucking room, bro. This is where you're not getting it. This is where it's not coming together for you, because people are shielding you. It's obvious. They're shielding you. And they'll probably watch this and go, we can't let Jimmy see these people because they're fucking making sense. Don't let Jimmy see this, because if he fucking sees this, he'll do something. Max Blumenthal told you, Event 201. Look it up. I hope you fucking looked it up. There's a lot of information in regards to it. It's a proposal. It was taken. They bought it. Now you're in COVID. There's masks everywhere. People are in lockdown. If you've driven through LA like I did last year, you'll see that it's getting worse and worse and worse. Homeless is getting bad. Because small businesses are down. They're gone. Look at the fucking shit that's happening. I mean, this is why we're so enraged and so pissed off, because you have such a loud voice and you've been doing so great, and all of a sudden COVID came and you just said, I don't want to touch that. You just shriveled up. You're like a sack of nuts on fucking in the tropics, going through a fucking portal to the Arctic and shrinking up. That's what fucking happened. Is that a good one, or is that a little too heavy? Is that a little too heavy? A little too much? You're just being a testicle, bro. You know, it's weak. You know, and Steffi isn't helping you. You know, Ruby isn't. All your team isn't helping you.
If only he could hear the super chats that people are spending all their money on.
Exactly. Read them.
Give him the information.
Yeah, that's what gets me is people throw, and I've probably spent over 100, maybe hundreds of dollars, but then I realized, guess what? And I just did one like a week ago, like an idiot. I put in, my words were, Event 201 was, and I think this was when Max was on, Blumenthal. I said, Event 201 was a proposal that was bought. And then I said, clarity and courage, question mark. But the only part she wrote read, and she said, in fact, Event 201 was a bot proposal, right? And if you're already connecting the dots, then you'll understand what that meant. But she didn't read clarity and courage because it's offensive. Because he always uses clarity and courage. Look, I'm not coming after you, bro. You just have a large audience. You're
done great work in the past.
Yeah, I'm just saying what's going to happen is things are going to get really nasty, and you're going to be late, and you're going to feel like shit. And I don't want that to happen. There's still time, Jimmy. There's fucking still time. Bring Whitney Webb on. If you brought Ryan Christensen on your fucking show, he would blow your fucking mind. Bring Derek Bros on your show. He would blow your fucking mind, right? Talk to Pasta. Bring him on.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you have a connection. For fuck's sake, bring Pasta on. Bring Fee on. Right? Instead of George fucking Charlton.
That still wants to suck up to AOC.
Yeah, the guy that wants to suck up the fucking AOC.
Yeah, he's criticizing the people that are pointing out where AOC is wrong. He's telling us, well, where's your bravery? What have you gotten done? Well, goddamn, buddy, I don't have a seat of power. I'm not elected into office because I don't bow down to the corporate donors, right? I just have a little rinky-dink YouTube channel, and I do the best with what I can. And I help my friends, I help my community, I do what I can, and I show way more bravery than Jordan Chariton ever has in his life. So fuck him when he comes at me and says, what the fuck have you done?
Yeah, fuck you, Jordan Chariton. You're a puss. You're not he's a testicle. I'm not going to say pussy because pussies are way tougher and way fucking better than testicles, I'm telling you.
No, Jordan Chariton, he got up on his high horse the other day and was lecturing the people that were criticizing AOC. And he goes, what the fuck have you done? Where's your fucking bravery? Because people were calling out Bernie and AOC for the scam artists that they are. And so I was just like, what the fuck, Jordan, what have you done? I mean, I know he's done some reporting on Flint and stuff, but given his attitude and what he's doing now, it seems like
he did Donna Brazil.
It wasn't about them. It wasn't about what was doing right. It was about getting attention for himself. He hasn't sacrificed anything. He's making bank off of doing this. I don't even know what it is now. I mean, he's not quite CNN level, but he's definitely not reporting factual information. So it's like, what is even the point of watching his show? I don't get it. But yeah, he's going to lecture me about what have you done for your buddy. You don't even know who you're talking to. There are so many people out there right now that are organizing, and not just me. I mean, compared to most people that are activists and reporters and stuff on the internet, I've done, not nearly what they've done. I mean, look at Convo Couch, everything that they've done and the reporting that they've done, put themselves in the middle of everything to report the news, getting deplatformed to report the news, to report the truth, not what was popular, not what's viral at the moment. No, they reported the actual truth of it, and they got deplatformed for it. And look, I know he got deplatformed, and I don't even understand why. What the fuck did he talk about to get him deplatformed? Or not deplatformed, demonetized, I'm sorry. So what was it he was talking about that he got demonetized? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I'm a little, I don't know if that really happened. I'm just really, I mean, if you're getting demonetized, but you're not talking about all the others that are getting demonetized, that's what really drives me nuts. But let me just show you something, guys. Girls and guys, guys and girls. You know what I'm talking about. So on Party Exodus, it's going to Party Exodus. We're dropping non-party voters. I already did the doing business as under voter, my not-for-profit. You've got Monotalk. You've got Redden Economics. You've got Convo Couch. You got Richard Mendenhurst. Kitten and Daniel over there at Hardlands Media. Slow News Day for sure. There's no particular order. Us at the top. We thought of us first, of course. Frank Analysis doing a good job, kid. We're very proud of you. You know what? We should have brought him. I'll bring him up now. Last American Vagabond, definitely. Conscious Resistance, that's Derek Bros. Ben Schwann, definitely doing some good stuff. A little off on certain things. And when I get through this list, I'm going to explain the reason why this list is here, because it's independent media. Please understand, independent media. Most of them are very unbiased. James Corbett, I recommend everybody definitely. Working Stiff USA, that's a good one. I just started watching. Activism, good activist. Spiro Skouras, great stuff. Really graceful. She does some wonderful stuff. Anomaly, I really like Anomaly's work. He's trying to get, which Combo Catch is doing, and a few others are trying to get left and right together to stop all this bullshit, all this fucking corruption, and all this other stuff. He is actually starting to do that, and he's talking about it. I know a lot of you people don't like Tim Pool, but I like some of his information, and I know you're like, why would you put any of these people together? Because they're going after the corporate governance most of the time. That's what they're going after, and they're independent media. And then I put, just for you, Jimmy, I put us in the group because I think you're going to pull your head out of your ass. Jimmy Dore, Dr. Shiva, and of course Jason Burma should be up higher on the list. But there's others too that I need to put on there. And then below there are some groups out there that are fighting against the corporate governance. Make America First Again, the Healthy American, Reclaim Your Lives, New Earth Projects, Stories.com, The Greater Reset, citizensforfreespeech.org, and Party Exodus, that's us. By the way, if you are told to take the vaccine or mandated or forced by your work, I want you guys to contact Health Freedom Defense, healthfreedomdefense.org. There are attorneys fighting to keep your job so you don't have to go through all that shit. But back to this and back to the topic at hand. Now we're both not on here. That's good.
I'll be back in just a sec.
Yeah, so let me just put it this way. If you're paying attention and you're not just watching CNN or MSNBC or Fox or Al Jazeera or PBS or Democracy Now! or going through Huffington Post and Breitbart and Tucker Carlson and Hannity and just not going there, you're going to other sources. You're getting a perspective from everybody. I mean, I could spend my time watching sitcoms, which I watch WandaVision, sorry, and The Expanse, which I miss, and Barry was a good one, but having a little bit more time to listen to the other side, or the other side, or the far crazy side. Tell me you guys never watched or heard or talked about something that Alex Jones brought up.
Yeah.
Tell me you guys never talked about or brought up information about Rush Limbaugh. May he rest in peace. Never a big fan. The guy's been a fucking turd for a long time. We know that, right? And has pinned people against each other. He's part of that. He's part of the 77 unique, and he went out there, I'm sure. Expand your screen, the stage. Expand your vision. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying, Jimmy. That's all we're saying, Graham. That's all we're saying, Ron. That's all we're saying. Fuck you, Kyle Kalinske. That's all we're saying, Mike Figueroa of the Human Report. Look at everything. Look at everything. Unless you're the tool. You know what's going on. You're part of it. You're within the ring, within the ring, within the rings. And you're part of the fucking circus. Because if you're part of the circus right now, then, good for you. Maybe you'll get a little something in the future and things will work out. But when things start getting really nasty, when people really start getting hurt, which they are right now, but for some reason it's a new norm and it's okay, it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. How could any of this have been okay? It is not 10 times worse than the seasonal flu. Reason for your mask. Reason for the lockdowns. Right? The PCR test is bullshit. It's been bullshit from day one. It doesn't fucking test for shit. Look at my fucking videos. Ask me some information about it. Right? They're planning on using social credit. This is happening in China. We're turning, maybe China. You may not, hey, I'm Chinese, so stop it. You may not notice this, but they're using social contact tracing. What is that? How is Rachel Maddow able to see these people at this meat plant that are traveling all over the country? I don't want to fucking know where I'm going. This happened in fucking March, April. I think it was in May. It came out where and I did a show on it. How is Rachel Maddow able to track all these people from this company on where they're going all over the country? On their vacations, for the weekend, going back and forth to work. It's like these little dots going everywhere all over the fucking country. And she's able to see that. And then she shows it, contact tracing, she shows it to the fucking world on MSNBC. Is that what you want? This is what's fucking happening. This is part of the fucking scamdemic gorilla in the room. Right? And soon, social credit, if you're not nice, if you're not saying the right things, you're going to get booted off of Patreon. You're going to get booted off of Twitter. I've been fucking censored like crazy on Twitter and on fucking Facebook. Like crazy. Right? Just saying shit that is making sense to many, but not them. It's not their narrative, man. It's not what they want you to know and want you to hear. They're actually creating, and it's so blatant. How are you not seeing that? You just went over censorship, and you brought it up the other day, and I think Jimmy, I even think you brought up Last American Vagabond on your show, but in your taping, you left it out. You said it real quick, but then you left it. That should have been your show. Everything else, stupid. We've already heard it. It's broken records. Fucking same old. And your audience just eats it up. It's really sad, but they just eat it up. I love all of them, and I wish well to all of them, but for some of they can't get out of that BPTSD. Bernie post-traumatic syndrome disorder. Right? He screwed us all. I got it. He already done. Fuck him. He's done. Right? There's other things that are happening out there that you're just letting go by. Graham, letting go by. Ron, letting go by. Kyle, letting go by. Figueroa. Right? And a bunch of other, I just didn't expect this from you. I'm so fucking disappointed. I am so disappointed. Bro, I think I'm a year or two older than you. I'm not saying I'm smarter than you at all. But I've been around, bro. Military, Alaska, Hawaii, Canada, East Coast, lived in Texas. I've seen it all, big and small. And I'm telling you, I know when somebody has courage and clarity. I've seen it. Up close. Right? And I think you have it, but you're being protected from it, from using it. That's what I think what's happening. So if somebody can get to Jimmy, if you see him on the street or something like that, say, Jimmy, you've got to see the COVID gorilla in the room, bro. You can't. Event 201. If that question right there that you question, what's Event 201? What's that? You said that. That should have rang a bell in your head. That should have happened. Go ahead.
So I would
Just say for all the people that are pro, sticking up for the people that were censored, that are being demonetized and all that, but still don't speak out on the the Great Reset, or even start questioning it. Because I mean, I know Jimmy was on this before I was. I mean, I asked questions a lot more before I was like, yeah, this is what it is, because he did a lot more research early on than I did. So, the thing is like, but you have to ask these questions. You have to point out these inconsistencies. How do you not see the inconsistencies in the way that they act and what they do, and how, and the rules for us and the rules for them? And I know that we're used to them acting, to a different set of rules, right? But this is a supposed pandemic, deadly, super deadly virus, right? But they're not acting like it, are they? They're still getting their hair done. They're still having their New Year's Eve parties. They're still having their Thanksgiving parties. They're still doing everything like normal. And so you have to realize that like there's are things that are not adding up. You have to start asking the questions. You have to be inquisitive, curious.
Did you just say that? Wait a second. Did you say that Jimmy Dore is not inquisitive?
I mean, when it comes to this
Oh
stuff,
my God.
He's not. And if either he's not curious, he's not inquisitive, which I think that's probably one of the markers of a reporter, of a journalist, or whatever you want to call him, or he's blatantly ignoring his suspicions. So it's either one or the other. And dude, I don't want to think that like, he's a bad guy, because, considering his past, I mean, he broke away from TYT, he did all this stuff. And I know he's done some things that were pretty freaking hard to do, but, he's not doing anybody any good, especially himself, when it comes to ignoring this stuff. At least, I mean, he had Magnus on. Look at how much shit he got for having Magnus on and trying to reach out and talk to people. And he's gotten so much shit for that, but he's not going to have Whitney Webb on. He's not going to have, Steve from Slow News Day or Last American Vagabond. He's not going to have them on. Catching some shit for that, Jimmy. You're used to it. Everybody's been hating on him for like the past couple of months, right? When it comes, ever since Force the Vote, man, he has been getting nothing but hate. So why not add to it? Add to it. You've got nothing to lose at this point. They're not going to demonetize you. So just take that risk, man. You survived, breaking away from TYT. I know that he had his fears, maybe not fears, but concerns about doing that. That worked out fine, right? He's come at a lot of people with power and money. That worked out okay. He's still doing okay. He's doing better. Actually, he's doing better than he ever was. So take the next step. Who cares if they call you crazy? They're already giving you hate. So just take that step and at least ask the questions. At least have the other side on, which is another thing that I'm bothered by with Lee Camp having only Nick Brano on. He's reporting one side of it, and Lee Camp's a good dude too, but man, like,
hey, Ben's on, by the way. Hey, Ben.
I don't mean to be a negative Nancy and just like tear people down. That's not my intention. My intention is just to get on the same page as these people. It's like, hey, look, either am I recording bullshit? So who's giving people bullshit right now? Because I don't think it's me. And if he has something to prove us wrong, then I think that we should have that conversation, because what we want at the end of the day is to make sure that everybody is taken care of, and that we want to make the world a better place. So if we're not doing that, Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kulinski, all of the others that are ignoring this, then please talk to us and give us your information and we can compare. But based on all the research that we've done, we're doing what's best and we're reporting what we know. And I trust a lot of it's not just me. If it was just me saying it, then I mean, that would be one thing. But I've got, Whitney Webb, who's a fantastic journalist. She's saying all this stuff. Steve from Slow News Day, Glory, Amber over there on Roar Media. they're not dummies. Okay. They do their research. They know exactly what they're talking about. So, and I've backed it up. I've done my own research. I've verified everything that they've talked about. So yeah, I would love to have that conversation with all these people that are ignoring what is going on. I mean, we are a year into a quarantine. This is not how quarantines work. This isn't how it works. But we're a year into it and nobody's questioning this. After 3 weeks, people should have started questioning it. After 4 weeks, hell, I'll even give them 2 months. After 2 months, they should have been questioning, why the hell are we still under lockdown? But they aren't. And now we're a year into it. And I guarantee you 10 years from now, people still wouldn't question it. It's insane. It's insane. Okay. It's just, it blows my mind that people aren't inquisitive. Like they just don't ask questions. Even if you don't say it out loud, like ask it to yourself. Like research it yourself, but they're not, it's just like, well, that's what I was told. So I'm just going to believe. I don't understand that mentality. Well, somebody told me this, so I guess it's true.
The point, yeah, well, the point,
and be a reporter,
yeah.
Journalist, news analyst, activist. You can't do any of those jobs without questioning things. It's frustrating. It's just frustrating. It's like Bernie 2.0. Remember when Bernie was running the first time and everybody felt that solidarity and we were all one big group, and it's just like happening all over again because there's some real shit going on and we're getting thrown under the bus. Well, we're not monetized, but Convo Couch and Franco Analysis and Graham, they're getting thrown under the bus. What? So Jimmy Dore can get some super chats because he's too afraid to say something? It's wrong. It's wrong.
I fully agree. And I think that's some very valid points. Look, hey, can you turn? Hey, good job. You turned off your mic. Okay, so I'm gonna get going here pretty soon. Ben, good to see you. Stas, hope things get better for you. Yeah, let me just go over a couple things with Stas. And he said something that was really important. Where is it? Where are the hazmat garbage bins for? Oh, damn, it disappeared. The hazmat garbage bins and other things that where's all this stuff? You're not allowed to go in and see. Just mainstream media isn't that questionable? You can't go in to see all these. You've got fucking doctors and nurses doing TikTok fucking dances all the time. If I was sick in bed and I'm inside one of the rooms or something and I'm sick or ill or something like that and I see some fucking dancing happening out in the hallway, I'm gonna get up off of my sick ass, find enough courage to get out there and slap the fuck out of them and say, what the fuck are you idiots doing? What the fuck are you doing? Right? I mean, and there's like hundreds of videos of these fucking nurses. Oh, you're
going to copyright strike for that.
Oh yeah, that was copyright strike. Right? I mean, there's so many things out there to question. The hypocrisy is amazing. I'm beginning to wonder if Jimmy knows what's really going on. He's in that circle. The Barnum and Bailey, circus, the flying circus, and I'm really concerned about that because, or he's just being coddled and protected by the people that surround him. And what happened to fucking? Here's a good point. So what happened to Michael Jackson when that happened? Protected him, coddled him, all these yes men around him, yes women, yes girls, yes doctors, consultants, shit like that. What happened to fucking Michael Jackson? Right? He was totally shielded from the rest of the world. And he fucking played, wait, not fully and completely, but he actually, towards the end, it froze. Towards the end of his career had some great songs. And he was fighting the system. He was talking about the system. He was talking about the corruption and things. And then all of a sudden he gets hammered. What? Right? It's almost just there's you got to realize, man, there are players in this game that are just so fucking powerful. They're so god awful powerful because this money buys people's souls, buys their souls, it buys their ethics, it buys their folkways, their norms, it buys their morals. Right? It's happening everywhere. Right? And it's really, really sad. It's really sad. I've got a very close relative of mine who just had a very close relative of mine take the fucking jab. I'm like, what? Aren't you watching? I'm your brother. Right? And you're not paying attention to what I'm trying to tell you? Who knows what's going to happen? Oh my, this is so terrible. We just don't know. And the hypocrisy that Stevie was talking about, just off the cuff, 24/7. Look at my videos. You'll see the hypocrisy of all of it. I go over Pelosi. I go over fucking Gavin Newsom, who has like 1.5 million recall votes already. I mean, they're going after him. What he's done to that fucking state is ridiculous. You know, and a lot of other states. And I'm not saying it's just him. It's even Republicans have bought into this too. This is a very huge and an amazing, gigantic, enormous push. It's a fucking tsunami, right? And if you don't know how to surf and ride this wave, you're fucked. You know, thankfully I used to surf with Laird Hamilton, so I can surf a little bit, but nothing close to what that fucking guy used to be able to do. Right? But the point I'm making, and that we're all making, is you've got to question authority and the source at every turn, all the time. I got that from you, Jimmy. I got that from you. Right? I started going, you know what? I'm not digging deep enough. I'm not asking the right questions. I'm just sorry. I thought I'd just do that. I keep freezing up for some reason. I'm just paying attention to surface stuff. I'm not going deep. But I have been lately. I've been down to the Marianas Trench, bro. And this shit down here, you may not want to see it, but it needs to be revealed. I'm bringing up artifacts. And the first part of my video here, and I'm going to get going pretty soon. I'm going to drink a few beers with my lovely wife, Stevie with Red Economics. Yeah, I know. I'm very lucky. Thank you. Super lucky. Super. But I'm bringing up artifacts, and that video I played of that guy going over the rings of power and how it circles out to bigger rings and bigger rings, but some of the people that go further out, they don't really know where the order is coming from or what exactly is the complete and total agenda or the absolute mission. But guess what? Just go to the World Economic Forum, man. Just become a member. I am. And you can find out exactly what's happening. You can find out exactly what's happening right now. You absolutely and totally can find out exactly you'll know 2 or 3 months in advance what's going to happen regarding this fucking scamdemic. Just by going there. All right, so we're going to do this. This is going to happen. These people are going to get fucked. This is going to happen. We're going to socially engineer this. And I pointed out, this is a business model that was used in the past with the Illuminati, and I'm not big on the whole fucking Illuminati shit. But it's a process. It's a system. And they're using it. And you could use that same system for a lot of things. Like I said, it's a giant pyramid scheme. It's Amway on fucking steroids. And if you're a part of Amway, you're excited. You're going to make money. You're in it. You're part of it. Let's keep pushing it. Keep selling it. right? It's just fucking Amway on steroids, right? I actually did Amway. That was just, I was like, what? This is like a cult, man. These people they were just weird. But, you know, we're just trying to make a buck. I get it. It's fine. Anyway, I want to bring us both on. We're going to say a little something to the peeps. Stash, I hope things get better. I want to believe people are not insane, but their track record proves otherwise. It's not all run by psychopaths. Thanks for your time tonight, everyone. Stay vigilant. Sorry to rant.
No, buddy, go for it.
Stay vigilant.
Go for it. Rant as much as you need to, buddy.
Stay vigilant. Interesting.
Yes.
You know who says that? Brian Christian says stay vigilant.
You have to.
Yeah, we got to stay
If you're not
vigilant.
vigilant, that's when they come in and stab you in the back.
Yeah, dissent. We're just saying. So anyway, party exodus. We're just leaving. We're done with the whole political U.S. political, electoral, and voting system. It's just fucked up. When you can, just jump on there to the toolkit. Answer those questions if you can. Please do. In regards to the electoral and election processes, you just click. And if you want to find out how to write in vote and all this other stuff, independent, because all the parties have been compromised. It's just a matter of time when they will be. I mean, we know that. I mean, I like MPP. I think Ray Knight and Brown actually want to do certain things, and I understand that. But they're already being infiltrated. They're just allowing people to come in, right? Because we can all trust Andrew Yang, right? The biggest opportunist ever who fully supports Biden. Right? The fucking just like a half-dead moron, right? Who's totally like the career politician who would be like the worst candidate on the planet in these times. He's the worst person you'd want in office.
Andrew Yang?
No, Joe Biden.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan looks competent compared to him.
Well, Ronald Reagan looks like a hero compared to this piece of shit. It's fucking, it's crazy.
Ronald Reagan was awful, but I mean, you know, he had that late stage dementia even when he was in office. So compared to Ronald Reagan's dementia, like Joe Biden is like not even doing as good as Reagan was. So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad what he's doing.
Oh, hey, Michael, Mathern is here.
Mathern.
Sorry.
Mathern?
Mathern. It's Mathern. Michael Mathern is here. First past the post pretty much guarantees that the parties will be corrupted because it prevents the rise of a third parties in the response to that corruption. Very well put. Very well put.
Yeah.
So we're just saying leave the fucking parties. I've always said this, and this is what I say. Imagine, and I'll say it again because I'm just going to keep fucking saying it. If this sounds like a broken record, this is a good broken record. This is a part of the record you want to hear. Imagine Nancy getting a call from the DNC. Imagine Mitch McConnell or whoever they're propping up as the leader of the Republican Party getting a call, and they're on the phone or whatever. We're losing people. What are you talking about? We're losing people. People are unregistering with us. They're not registering, or they're unregistering. They're leaving the parties. They're leaving us as a party. The voting block of the independents are greater. There's so many people that don't even vote. Right? I think it's 206 million people in the United States can vote, and I believe only 120 or 30,000, 140, 50,000 maybe actually vote. And there's a lot of people that don't fucking do it at all because they don't trust the system. And we can't blame them. And a lot of people that are independents have the biggest share of the voting blocks. So how about we all just become independent? I can talk shit about a Democrat all day long. I'll be labeled as a Trumper. I can talk shit about a Trumper or a fucking a Republican all day long. I get labeled as a Democrat. But I'm not. I can talk shit about the Green, the Libertarian Party, the movement for People's Party movement. I can talk shit about all of them. You know why? Because I can. because I'm not beheld to their platform. I'm not beheld or have to succumb to their political party stooge. I don't have to do that. I am free and clear. You should be free and clear of this travesty that's been happening. You know, let me intimate that parties suck is what fucking George Washington basically said. They're bad. All right, anyway, I'm going to end that. Do you want to say anything about what are you doing with the end of the part of the toolkit that you're still working on?
Well, right now I'm working on, I've been kind of researching and putting together something like an article or whatever about perspective, because I'm trying to unravel, right? Like, how do we get to this point? How do I have people attacking me like on an AOC video or this or that or whatever, when I'm laying out the information that I have, right? So how is it that we have people that are just completely unwilling to listen to information, basically, or to make their own point? So how do we get to this point, which is there is a reality, right, that is being filtered through people's perceptions, and those perceptions are valuable. If you didn't get enough sleep, if you're in a bad mood, if you're hangry, or you've been fed a certain type of propaganda, or you grew up in a certain location, right? Like, you're programmed in a way to view the same reality through a different lens. So that's what I'm trying to get to, is like, just for people to take the glasses off that they're viewing the reality through and just see it for what it is, not with the mainstream media narrative through it. So I'm laying out basically how, government, corporations, mainstream media, how they bypass reality and get to your perception. So that way that you can't see the Capitol riots for what they were, or you can't see, the elections are fraudulent elections for what they are, or what our fraudulent politicians are, because they're bypassing reality and going straight to people's perceptions and clouding it up to where they see, sunshine and rainbows and lollipops and, gold paved streets. And when the fact is like, we live in a dump. And so that's what I'm trying to get to. So I've been doing some research on that. I'm putting an article together, and I'm not telling people what to think. I'm not telling people anything. I'm just saying, like, these are the ways that they control us. So just be aware of it. Right. So yes. So that's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. See, that's the thing with us. And that's why we built, Party Exodus, is because this has to go on past us, right? Because with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange being in prison, and with parties, because it hinges on a certain few people doing the job or making sure that things go right, that it's easily corrupted. So that's why we're not telling you what to do. We're not telling you what to believe. We're not telling you anything like that. We're just simply a resource for you to do what you want to do, for you to empower people to make the changes for themselves instead of having to rely on a Bernie Sanders or an AOC. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm putting all that information together so I can put that on the website. So, and also coming up, I'm going to be doing an interview with Steve from Slow News Day. And he's just absolutely a wealth of knowledge when it comes to all this stuff. And yeah, he's so chill and he's funny. So, I mean, he's really amazing to listen to. So I'm really excited about, having him as a guest. And that should be coming up soon in the next week or two. So I got to iron things out with him. But yeah, he's already agreed to come on. So anyway.
Thank you very much there, Stevie with Red and Economics. You're fantastic and wonderful. I also will be doing about some sovereignty of Hawaii information. How this whole COVID thing, Great Reset, is a very similar situation that my forefathers went through, my heritage of the annexation, and how they took over our lands, which they're doing now, and how that is kind of but on a much larger scale. Just a bunch of plutocrats came in and just took over an island, took it away from some colonizers, they call them. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to point out is partyexodus.org. It is not a place where you're gonna, sit down and have tea with other people, or it's a means of knowing how and why you need to leave the parties. It's the toolkit. It's basically the toolkit saying, giving you a way to get out. It basically proves why you're leaving and why you need to leave. It basically says that the site basically is for you to understand how being independent is the best course of action at this time. Is the best course of action, right? Don't join the independent party or independent liberal party or the independent conservative party no. We're talking complete and total independence and completely away from the whole party system that has done what for you? Nothing. Anyway, nothing. Anyway, thank you guys. Let's do a bit of wave. I'm going to do a shaka. Okay, sorry. All right, I want to say aloha, everybody. Thanks for being on here. Good to see you. By the way, Alistair Mraz was on. Everyone, please don't forget to plant a garden for sure. I've got seeds. I got to get that started. God damn it. All right, procrastinating. I do it. All right, aloha. Thank you guys all for coming on. Check out Steve with Red Economics. Also, subscribe and share, right? Share.
Smash that like button, bro.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You want to get those notifications. You want to get those notifications that fucking harass you. Right, yeah.
They are, seriously. Neither one of our channels have gained subscribers, even though I'm constantly getting notified that I'm gaining subscribers. Our channels have stagnated on subscribers.
I've got about 360 people, and I've got 360 shows. That's pretty crazy, huh? I don't know. I'm just maybe
but
people.
Not just us, there's other channels too that I know that it just doesn't.
Yeah, it's hard to keep. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. That's all. For some people, it's just hard to keep up. And them, I'm not saying I know it. I don't know shit. The guy that says they know, they don't know. That's the guy you got to worry about. All right. Aloha, everybody.